Hi everyone, this is Sabrina and Jonathan, lawyers at Verity Law.
Today, we will talk about how to transfer different types of assets when you're receiving your inheritance.
First, real estate properties. When a loved one unfortunately passes away, there are three ways you can transfer the property into your own name as the beneficiary. First, if you are already entitled to the property with the deceased as joint tenants, meaning the words joint tenants must be on your deed, then us real estate lawyers can just transfer the property without probate or a will.
For example, Linda and Sam are husband and wife who are joint tenants on a property. Then, after Sam passes, Linda can just hire a real estate lawyer like us and remove Sam's name from the deed. This must be done shortly after Sam's passing, as you should not keep a deceased person's name on title.
That's correct. Linda will be unable to make any decisions on the property, such as selling it, renting it, or refinancing it, if Sam's name is still on title.
Now, do be careful here. If the deceased's property is a matrimonial home, then the surviving joint tenant should be the spouse. If Sam was joint tenants with his son, David, but the property is a matrimonial home, then this joint tenancy no longer exists after Sam passes.
That's right. Then David will still only get his 50% of shares to the property, and Sam's 50% will need to be transferred according to a will, or if there is no will, according to the estate law.
Second, if the property is only under the deceased's name, or if it was held as tenants in common, then us estate lawyers must apply for probate. This could be done without a will or with a will. It is much easier, of course, if there is a will, and it's faster and cheaper.
Once probate application is submitted and approved by the court, then the property can be transferred into the beneficiary's name. But if there is a mortgage on title, then the beneficiary must reapply for a new mortgage under their name or sell the house in the deceased's name.
So let's say Sam passed and the will states that the property goes to his wife, Linda. There's an outstanding mortgage of $500,000. Linda must apply for a mortgage under her name for $500,000 before she can receive the property. Or she could sell the property in the deceased's name, such as the estate of Sam, once probate is approved.
Lastly, properties can be transferred using a trust agreement. As long as the trust was drafted correctly, then the property can be transferred without a will or probate. A lawyer skilled in both real estate law and estate law will be able to use the document to transfer the property directly into the beneficiary's name.
Next, if the deceased jointly owned bank accounts with anyone, then those can be transferred with just a death certificate. The survivor only needs to notify the bank. Any RRSP, TFSA, or RIF at the bank with a designated beneficiary does not need a will or probate. The beneficiary only needs to provide the death certificate to receive those funds. If you're unsure about what accounts the deceased has, then you or your estate lawyer can go into the bank and check for the date of death balances.
Ensure you also check with each bank's investment accounts. Those are a separate department and must be notified independently. Otherwise, you may miss tens of thousands of inheritance. Next, any insurance policies with designated beneficiaries, such as life insurance, employee insurance, can be claimed directly by the beneficiaries without a will or probate. Mortgage insurance can be claimed to pay out any mortgage.
If the deceased had a company, then that needs to be included in the probate application, unless there is a secondary or corporate will. The company may need to be appraised by a professional appraiser as well.
This is because when doing the probate application, the court requires the dollar amount of the total estate value, and the estate will need to pay 1.5% estate administration taxes on this dollar amount, with the first $50,000 being tax exempt.
Lastly, vehicles in the deceased's sole name need to be valued for their dollar amount, then included in the probate application before it can be transferred to the beneficiaries.
Alright, now you know how to transfer real estate, bank accounts and investments, insurance policies, companies, and vehicles when someone passes away. Ensure you hire an estate lawyer immediately to start the probate application and to administer the estate correctly to avoid costly mistakes and personal liabilities.